Hey everybody, it is September 5th, 2017, and I'm giving a little bit of an update on where things are at in my off season, what's happened since my last competition, and future plans. So 6 weeks ago I competed in Masters Nationals, where I took third in the super heavy class, in the 35 and older. I was super happy about that. Couldn't have, honestly, I was the most surprised person on stage that day. I think when they called me out, I was up there with a bunch of monsters, and still looking back, it surprises me. I do think I deserved it though after seeing pictures, but everyone gets intimidated, and that doesn't exclude me. I certainly was not thinking that I stood a chance. But it turned out in my favor. It worked out really well. The two guys that finished ahead of me in first and second, one of them got his pro card in that show, and then the other guy turned pro this last weekend at North Americans. So I got beat by two IFBB pros. So I think my time's close. At least I hope. It's not always the next man down or the next guy up that gets their pro card, but hopefully I can bring good improvements next year and earn that spot and that title of IFBB Pro. So since that show, a lot has happened. I've had 2 surgeries, and nothing health concerning. I'm totally fine. You can probably classify these as being cosmetic surgeries to some degree. They both do have to do with my health, and could eventually cause some issues if I didn't take care of them. So first, this was about 2 weeks ago, actually 2 weeks ago today, I had gynecomastia surgery. This has been an issue in my career for years. It happens every season. Get a little bit of gynecomastia, having to control it with AIs. Affected my cholesterol negatively, and I was obviously aesthetically it's distracting. So I had the glands removed, and it was an expensive surgery. Fortunately, I was able to get that done, and the timing worked out that I was able to do it right now, kind of after a show, and no future plans for at least a year. So I had that done, pretty sore. The recovery meant that essentially no pressing movements for probably 4 or 5 weeks. Upper body is limited to basically some arm stuff, some delt stuff, and you just basically don't want to activate the pecs. I had been going. I got cleared for light cardio, which I was doing on a recumbent bike, and some light leg work, basically leg extensions, leg curls, and some adductor abductor stuff. That's about it. No squats, nothing that would cause any strain. After meeting with my doctor, and after he kind of fiddled around with my belly button, he kind of talked me into, or not even really talked me into it, but I decided since I was down and out, it might be a good time to take care of the umbilical hernia that I've had basically my whole life, that has progressively gotten bigger and bigger and bigger and worse. It gets painful at times, but nothing life-threatening, no real danger there. But aesthetically, again, distracting. So had that taken care of last Friday. Now that recovery is a little different. It makes you realize just how much you use your core in literally everything that you do. So this comes, since the day of the surgery, which I was in and out, but and they didn't do a mesh. It was all sutured, which they say is not as strong. The opening was pretty small. Hopefully it doesn't recur, but I have to be really careful. But anyway, sitting up, rolling over, laughing. Don't make me laugh. Don't make me cough. It's really painful. It has progressively gotten better, but very slowly. It's still really tender. Standing up, I have to be kind of hunched over because straightening out really kind of almost feels like it stretches my abs, and my abs almost feel like they're perma contracted, which is really uncomfortable. I do have on what's called a binder, basically a girdle. It's really tight, but it's supporting my core. It's kind of holding my guts in, which is without it, man, I can't. Every time I take that off, I'm like, oh, it feels like my stomach's gonna fall out. So I sleep with it on. I take it off when I shower, but other than that, it sucks. So what that means, I'm going to be out of the gym for a little while. Hopefully, I meet with my doctor again this week. Hopefully, I'll be able to get back in, maybe do some recumbent bike. No squatting, no leg press, no deadlift, no anything that causes intra-abdominal pressure for quite a while, for probably at least a month, probably 2 months before I do anything too serious. Going crazy already. It's really testing my patience, but it has allowed me to focus on some other things. I'm getting a lot of work done, which is great, but I don't feel like that balance is there. I'm kind of in my office all day. There have been days where it's been best for me to lay in bed, or at least sit up in bed and work in bed, simply because moving around was not a good idea, nor was sitting in a chair all day. I had to be somewhat reclined. I've had to sleep reclined with my head above my heart, and I've been doing that for like over 2 weeks. Anyway, so that's kind of my updates. I don't plan on competing until next summer. I don't know. I'll probably do a few shows and then hit Masters Nationals again. I really enjoy competing, so that's why I like to do some shows leading up to that. I did 4 this year, which was a lot of fun. I competed in Dallas, Denver, Vegas, and then the last one out in Pittsburgh. Nutrition. This is a good thing to talk about. So since this surgery, since the first surgery, which is now 2 weeks ago, I have not had any carbs. Why do I do this? Well, my activity level obviously is decreased. I simply do not have a need for carbs. I'm trying not to get fat through this process. The number of calories burned is way lower than it has been, than what my body's used to. And so I'm trying to eat according to activity level, which is very low. So essentially what my diet consists of right now is protein and veggies. Fats are only coming from trace fats from meat. I do have a bar here and there which has some fats, but no starchy carbs at all. And guess what? I'm still alive and kicking. I feel just fine, guys. Appetite has decreased simply because my activity level and calories burned are down. But that's my update. 6 weeks post-show. I'll give you an update in a few more weeks to let you know how I'm recovering, whether my guts are falling out or not, and how the pecs are looking. Anyway, thanks for watching.